In early 2021, in a small town in Brazil, residents were left terrified after multiple sightings of a werewolf-like creature were reported. The creature was described as a tall, muscular humanoid with a canine-like face, long claws, and fur covering its body. The sightings were so frequent and widespread that the local government decided to impose a nighttime curfew to protect the residents. The panic was triggered by a video that went viral on social media, showing what appeared to be a werewolf walking on two legs through the streets of the town. The video was reportedly shot by a group of teenagers who were out at night and came across the creature. The footage, although blurry and shaky, shows a dark, humanoid figure walking towards the camera before disappearing into the darkness. The werewolf sightings sparked a wave of fear and speculation among the residents, with many believing that the creature was a supernatural entity or a cursed human. Some even speculated that the werewolf was a product of a government experiment gone wrong or a result of the town's proximity to a nearby military base. The local authorities were quick to respond to the situation, dispatching a team of police officers and military personnel to investigate the sightings. Oddly enough, around this same time, residents throughout Brazil reported that they witnessed teams of military officials patrolling the street at night, with one resident saying that they created a curfew so that they could hunt this creature down without being seen. However, no evidence was found to support the claims, and the team concluded that the sightings were likely a hoax or a case of mass hysteria. Despite the lack of evidence, the werewolf sightings continued, and the local government decided to impose a nighttime curfew. The curfew required all residents to be indoors by 10 in the evening, and anyone caught violating the curfew would face fines and possible imprisonment. Although the curfew was soon lifted, residents who lived close to nearby military bases said that they were certain that they had some involvement, and questioned whether something was released from one of the nearby bases, and that military officials then had to lock everyone inside their homes so that they could hunt and track it down. After the military came into the area, residents said that the werewolf sightings decreased dramatically. Legends of the werewolf date back to some of the oldest known mythologies all around the world, with accounts of attacks from shape-shifting men into dogs even being recorded in the modern day. Many of these reported encounters often overlap with similar claims of large humanoid dog-like creatures with bright red eyes known for their vicious wolf-like savagery. The 1987 Northern Michigan encounter of Luther. Back in August of 1987, the owners of a small wooden cabin claimed that their cabin had been attacked in the night by a large animal they presumed to have been a bear. Unsure of what the animal was, and needing information surrounding the vandalism to provide to insurance companies, the owners then contacted the Department of Natural Resources from Baldwin, Michigan. After waiting around for some hours, several investigators from the field office arrived at the cabin and claimed that they were interested in examining the damage to the cabin to verify the animal attacks. Several investigators from the field office arrived at the cabin and claimed that they were interested in examining the damage to the cabin to verify the animal attacks. Although the owners originally believed the large animal to have been a bear, the gathered evidence from the game warden's investigation proved that the animal scratches were not from a typical bear vandalism and was most likely something else entirely. According to the Department of Natural Resources, the tracks and the claw marks left behind at the cabin more closely matched that of a very large dog. Surrounding the cabin and near the nearby muddy pathways were footprints of large dog tracks. On the windows of the cabin were prints of equally as large muddy paws that went as high as 7 feet, and different parts of the roof of the cabin appeared to have also had evidence of muddy footprints. Additionally, closer examination showed that the frames of the windows and the doorway appeared to have been chewed in an attempt of the animal to have gained entrance to the cabin in the night, a behavior uncommon of wolves in the region. Even more peculiar, areas of the footprints seemed to reach up on the wall past 7 feet in height, meaning that the animal would have had to walk on its hind legs and be at a height exceeding 7 feet when standing. An official quote on the event is recorded as the following. Upon closer scrutiny, it was determined that the damage to the cabin had been done by a very large dog. It appeared that the animal had chewed into the wood frames of the building and the door screening in an attempt to gain entrance to the cabin. Officers found huge dog tracks all around the cabin, paw prints on the windows, and deep grooves made by a dog's teeth in the wood around the door and window. The damage inflicted was found to not be the work of an average dog, but one which was very large and capable of standing up and reaching 7 feet up to the higher window levels. It didn't take long for the story of the cabin's destruction by a large dog to have reached the nearby town, with many of the locals soon making their way up to the cabin to see the evidence of the attack for themselves. Many of the local hunters and tour guides supported the claims that the prints and the attacks had to have been made by a large dog or wolf, and that the scratch marks were atypical of a standard bear attack. Several hunters offered to hunt down the creature for the owners of the cabin, whereas others believed that an ancient dire wolf could have been the culprit. This creature has been reported in various parts of the world, but mainly in North America. It is described as a creature that has the head and upper body of a wolf and the lower body of a human. The first recorded sighting of the dogman dates back to the 1700s, when French explorers reported seeing a creature with the head of a wolf and the body of a man in what is now known as Wisconsin. However, it wasn't until the late 1980s that the term dogman was coined by a radio host in Michigan who received reports of sightings from local residents. The dogman is often described as being around 7 feet tall and weighing up to 400 pounds. It is said to have sharp teeth, glowing eyes, and the ability to move quickly and silently. Many witnesses have reported feeling a sense of intense fear when encountering the creature, leading some to speculate that it may have supernatural origins. There have been several notable encounters with the dogman in recent times. In 1987, a man named Steve Cook claimed to have had a face-to-face encounter with the creature while walking his dog in a park in Michigan. He described the creature as being around 7 feet tall and having yellow eyes that seemed to glow in the dark. As of right now, people still report encountering the creatures, leaving them terrified and questioning what it was that they encountered. So, what do you make of these mysterious creatures? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.